Welcome to the Irrelevant Podcast. Back for episode 75 with Alex Lewis.
75? Shit.
I think it's 74, 74, 75.
I have no idea.
Anyway, Alex was about to share his wonderful insights on Stan Everdene's thoughts on sleeps.
Yeah, you don't wake up early to work out if you can't get enough sleep.
Sleep, nutrition,
synopsis.
Training, in that order.
So I think I woke up at 9, and then I went back to sleep and took another nap. And just woke up at 11:30.
I woke up
I think I was
3:30, went and did all my stuff with my morning clients. Then I came back here and I had emails that I needed to complete these videos. And I was just like, all right, I don't have podcasts till 1:30, so I'm just going to get them all done.
Did you get them all done?
Close. I got one that I'm finishing up right now, actually. Got it on
Every time I say I'm going to do computer work in the middle of the day, it never happens.
I was probably 10 minutes into the first one, and I'm just sitting here going like this. Already about to fall asleep.
Worst.
But thanks to our wonderful friends at Ghost.
Hey. Anytime you guys want to give us some free cans of stuff.
Got a nice pick-me-up in the middle of the day.
Are we at like 10 episodes of sponsoring this yet?
It's got to be close.
Ghost, basically, at this point, I think.
Right. Right. Oh, man. Yeah, I would say we're probably at, I don't know, 10 maybe? Yeah, probably.
Literally the nectar of the gods.
It's delicious. It's delicious.
I even chugged my salt mixture before I did this, so I made sure to have all my salt in.
Also doesn't give you that itchy, scratchy, crazy, weird feeling from beta-alanine. So
I don't even think there's any beta-alanine in it, is there?
No, I don't think in these there are, which I like.
Nope. It does have alpha GPC. The one thing I want to try that I hear is good is Gorilla Mind.
Gorilla Mind. Is that like a pre?
It's like a can.
Oh, I've never heard of that. I don't know that we have. I've seen that.
I've been told it's better than the Ghost, but
you want to do the Bucked Up?
Bucked Up sucks, dude.
Bucked Up has all the beta-alanine in it.
But it sucks. It's not even a good pre-workout.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it because I don't like hugely stimulating pre-workout anything.
No, it's all about the nootropics, man.
Yeah.
Get that brain juice going.
Get the alpha in there. Well, Alex, your training is going to be 3 hours today then, since you decided to sleep. But
every day is 3 days. It's 3 hours.
Yeah, but you're not breaking it up today. But you got that sleep.
I did get the sleep.
What kind of day is it today? Bench press?
Stones. I'm not benching in strongman, you fucking dipshit.
Oh, he's still on strongman stuff. My bad.
Dude, I'm only done with the second microcycle after today. What do you mean I'm still on strongman? Yeah, they're 15-day microcycles.
Oh, I just thought you were doing a little deload for yourself after a couple weeks. But
I'm doing a mesocycle of strongman events, Nick.
Oh, baby.
How are you going to get good at something if you don't actually practice it?
The stones. He's going to have to have...
My flat is tight for some reason, so that should be a good time.
Slept on the side too long.
I don't know what I did.
Too much sleep. Not used to it. Body wasn't ready.
The more sleep I get, the more my gray hairs disappear. The less sleep I get, the more they appear. It's the weirdest shit in the world. It makes no sense.
Stress related?
Maybe, but I didn't think it was like a fucking chameleon that it would like change colors. Like, what the fuck?
Your hair follicles are stressed out.
Dude, you know what's crazy is I saw some friends from high school at their kid's birthday party a couple weekends ago, and I'm the only motherfucker that's not bald.
Wow, that is shocking.
Like this terrible mop, I should be grateful for.
They're that stressed out, huh?
I don't know what it is. I think people just have poor genetics.
Oh,
because like they talk about it with PED usage, like you either lose the hair or you don't.
Right.
There is no like, let me slow it down or let me do this. Or no, you either lose it or you don't.
It's either there, it's gone.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you should do as a coach when one of your students has sustained a bump or blow to the head or body and isn't acting right? Concussion protocol.
That what?
It's a concussion question.
You send them to the nurse.
Allow the student to finish out the quarter period half. Yep, you got a huge knot on your head. Get back in there. Lower your head next time a little harder.
Yeah. When's school start?
I have to go back. So I have 2 days, the 7th and the 8th, that I have to go back. And then I have to go. The teachers have to report on the 12th for a whole week where no students are there. And then like open house the following Monday. And then school starts that next Tuesday. So we have about a month until students come back. A little less.
Jesus Christ, that was the most long drawn out answer for something that could have just said a month
Hey,
I've ever gotten.
hey, listen, I have to go back much earlier than that.
No one
so.
cares about what you. I want to know when you have to deal with these sniveling fucking crybabies.
I think the 20th is when I go back.
There, simple answer. Leave it to you to fucking turn it into this long charade of nonsense.
Hey, maybe people wanted to know.
Did I give you the 8-foot jumps today?
Yeah.
Are those not a little terrifying?
Dude, I didn't think I was going to make it past the third hurdle.
Really?
I got it, but it, like, when you're looking at it, it looks kind of intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah. I only did it once just because Cooper and my athlete were doing it. I was like, well, let's see. And I felt so uncoordinated from over the second one.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to make that third jump was tough.
That one I didn't feel it was an issue, but from
Really?
the initial hurdle over to
Really?
the second one,
I
I don't know. I felt completely uncoordinated. Like I didn't know what I was doing with my arms. Like it
I
was
was
strange.
I was faster on the first 4 sets. I was faster on the first 2, and then the last set I was slower on the first 2. So I don't know.
How many are you doing?
Or 3. I'm sorry. I was slowest on the first one, and then fastest on the last one.
How many hurdles do you set up?
3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Anyway, the middle one, the first jump, I was
Only 2 jumps.
Yeah, the first one I was the slowest,
Well,
and
3,
the
I
second,
guess,
the second one, second one I was the fastest, and then the last
the
set it
first
switched.
one, I got 0.14. I was like, oh shit.
Then never saw the daylight of it again.
I've not tried. Oh no.
I was like
I'm just way faster horizontally than I am vertically some reason.
I was way slower. I was like 0.3s most of the time, and then 0.25 on the second one.
0.3s?
Some of them.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Not horizontally very good.
No wonder your deadlift sucks.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I got 0.14 and then like 0.2.
No, I was like by the end of it, I was like 0.4, 0.5, but that's as fast
I'm
as I
super
can get
slow
it.
when they're 3 feet apart. I'm fucking terrible at that for some reason.
See, I'm way better at that one.
I got a kid who's like pretty athletic apparently, but he doesn't he's just works and just got done with college, I think.
Right.
And we did 6 feet apart yesterday. He hit 0.15 at 18 inches on both. It was actually 0.14. Then he hit 0.15 at 21 inches on both. And then he hit almost 0.15 on 24 inches on both.
Good God, just a springy little dude, huh?
Yeah, but his vertical is only like 22 inches.
So he has no force.
Oh, no power output.
Yeah. Can't push that stuff into the ground.
He can spring. Bouncy.
I have kids like that are very reactive. Like they do pretty well on the hurdles, but then you make them jump vertically and they're very low. 23.
So what do you think is a better test of athleticism? The vertical jump or the ground contact time?
Depends on the sport, probably.
Really, you think?
I don't know. That's a good question. I've thought about that a lot, actually. I don't. Boy, I don't know. Because like basketball, I feel like is not really. I mean, it has a reactive component, but you still have you get to build up in force. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a true reactive thing. Huh?
Not?
Like you're not just standing there doing like bounces. You know what I mean?
Well, that's not just reactive strength is not only bouncing.
No, I know. I mean, it's a component of strength as well. But I'm saying like I don't know if like. Oh, man, I don't know. Like if you're going up for a rebound, for example, like you're standing there and then jumping as high as you can to go get it. You know what I mean?
So that's like the one instance you would need a vertical.
Yeah, but like if you're on like a breakaway, I guess that's fairly reactive. Like if you're going to go up and yam one.
How about playing defense is all reactive?
Yeah, Defensive slides is very reactive.
I'm gonna go with every fucking sport is more reactive strength than it is power output.
I think a lot of it is, yeah.
You don't have enough time to generate power output in most sports.
No, you're probably right. I think pitching is probably...
That would be power output.
But it's also reactive too, because when your lead leg hits, you need to be able to like send that force right back up the chain. You know what I mean? Like when you're blocking and you need your lead leg block to be strong and handle the forces enough to be actually to allow that front leg to stay stable so that your pelvis can rotate around it. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
It all starts with generating force from the back leg.
Yeah, but then it's
ground contact time pitching is much longer than anything else.
Yeah, until you get to the point of release. Because like as soon as your
front leg doesn't come off the ground, does it?
No, but as soon as that front foot hits the ground, everything gets sent back up.
Ground contact time.
Don't you have to have some kind of stiffness? Don't you have to have like tendon stiffness and resiliency though? Or you have to have strong hamstrings, I guess, too.
I'm just looking at it at a point of ground contact time, I think, displays more athleticism than power output.
Yeah. But they both play on each other, that's for sure.
Kinda.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, the ground contact...
In the game of sport, you don't have a lot of time to generate power.
No, I would agree with that.
Like maybe pitching and hitting is probably like where you get the most wind up and time to actually do such things.
Yeah, I mean everything's working.
And even getting a rebound in basketball, very rarely do you just get to stand there and jump.
Yeah, unless you're just blocking someone out
to the basketball hoop.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like what other sports would be. Just pure exertions of power, you know what I mean?
Shot put.
Shot put would be one. Yeah, that was what came to mind for me.
Discus.
But all track and field, I mean...
But even those have ground contact times in them because you're switching feet.
Right. Yeah, that's good to think about, for sure. I think you got to build all those qualities.
I just think the ground contact, if you're going to pick one to choose athleticism, I think ground contact time is by far more telling than your vertical leap.
Yeah, that's like kids get mad because they're like, I can't jump very high. Like there's basketball, these young kids that play basketball, they do good on like things like approach jump, and they do things like the hurdles really well, and they're pretty quick. But then they'll do like like a standing vertical or like a dumbbell jump, and their numbers just go way down, and they get frustrated. And I'm like, well, it's just you're weak.
Weak as piss.
You're just weak. Like it's just force output is all it is. So like you just have to get stronger. It'll happen. Don't panic.
It's also coordination.
Yes, like they don't understand. That is the biggest. They're like, I can't jump higher. I can't do it. I'm like, well, it's a skill. You have to learn how to jump. They're like, that doesn't even make any sense. We all know how to jump. I'm like, yeah, but you have to learn how to be good at it. Yeah. Yeah, you're not good at doing the thing that we need you to do yet. So I did have a kid jump 32.6 last night.
That's pretty good.
I thought that was pretty good. Yeah. He went to Holland for 2 weeks and came back and just casually jumped at 32.6. I was like,
oh, no. Really, like adaptation occurred while he was gone.
Yeah. I mean, he was pushing it pretty hard because I was trying to get him to peak right before he went back to school for his wrestling season. So looks like we did
He's a wrestler even.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. But I can't think of many examples in sport where you need more power output than you need to be reactive.
Yeah, because wrestling, you have to be reactive. Highly reactive.
Everything is reactive.
Yeah. Football, I mean, that's all it is.
Shivers model, reactive strength has its own category. Is like it's that important.
But they talk about that's why like there's so many hamstring issues and things like that in the NFL because of their lacking of reactive ability.
Reactive strength.
Yeah.
I'm saying like
it's not a
ground contact time.
What did he say in the article? How the Watson guy is like chasing imbalances or whatever. It's like it's not about imbalances, my man. It's about special strength qualities.
Yeah, well, you know.
But they don't have a very good group of people around them advising them. It doesn't imagine to be.
I would say the majority of people in strength and conditioning don't understand what's actually happening.
Very true. But I guess when they get to that level too, they feel like they've kind of made it. So they probably don't do the things that got them to there in the first place, or they're just so athletically gifted in the first place that they just kind of be like, I'll figure it out.
I don't know.
I don't know. But what Quint and them guys are doing is
you
really
wouldn't
good.
be training. Why you wouldn't be training that special strength as a quality when you play sports? I'm not quite.
Maybe they haven't ever been explained what it is in that specific way. You know what I mean?
Well, not even the athletes, the coaches. What the fuck?
Oh, true. Maybe they don't know how to coach it.
The strength coaches, they get millions of dollars.
Hey, just because they get paid millions of dollars doesn't mean they know what they're doing, dog.
I'm just saying, like, that's crazy.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying they probably don't know what they're doing. And I think pros can have whatever strength coach they want. Like, they don't have to have the team coach or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, I think they can do both. I think you still have to do team activities.
Yeah, I'm sure they're really pushing the intensity on that.
And I don't know.
What? I didn't get this question right. Gosh dang it.
You're sitting here doing stuff while we're trying to have a podcast. This is nice.
Hey,
everyone. Nathan gives zero fucks about the podcast.
That's not true. I'm completely engaging in the conversation. These videos are just running, and then they have quizzes that'll just randomly pop up, and it's like, to make sure you're paying attention, like, leave me alone. It's ridiculous.
That's how important the podcast is to Nathan, everyone. He's doing schoolwork while allegedly doing a podcast.
Shut your face. I'm doing a great job at the podcast.
Great job? I don't know.
So what are you going to do then to address your vertical deficiencies instead of your horizontal deficiencies?
Lots of tibialis work.
Yeah. Yeah. Get the jumper muscles to jump.
Found a new Pails and Rails setup for dorsiflexion. It's just absolutely awful.
That sounds terrible. Don't send it here.
Just load the tib machine with like 200 pounds.
Just push and pull on it.
Yeah, it does. It's fun.
You guys have that? Is it the Titan one that they made or whatever?
The Yes for All.
What is that?
Amazon brand.
I'm looking that up. Yes for All. Yes for All Sports.
Yeah. The tib raise machine they have is pretty robust.
Sporting Goods. Is that what it would be?
Got this stupid adjustable foot plate that I just fucking tighten the piss out of so nobody can adjust it because it's always up.
Page not found. Do these people even exist anymore?
On Amazon.
Okay. Let's look on Amazon. I've seen that one that Titan makes. It seems to be pretty decent.
I mean, this thing's robust. Works pretty well.
Nice. Where are you, Tib Curl? I'm trying to find you. Yes for all. Yes for all. Yes for all.
Is that what they call it? Is a tibialis curl? I would think they call it tibialis raise.
I think they call it tibialis curl.
I call them tibia raise.
Oh, is this the thing that you just... Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, this looks brutal.
Yeah.
Just load that puppy up. Yeah. Yeah, Titan makes one that's like, they call it a tibialis curl machine, and you just...
Put like 150 pounds on it the other day for my rugby athlete, and he could still move it. I was like, what the fuck?
That's terrifying.
He weighs 230. It's like your body probably does have some capacity in that sense.
Well, think of the amount of dorsiflexion he's always in when he's doing that kind of stuff.
Right.
God, scrumming, and you're just down there all the time, and yeah, that's tough. Is that the kid that he goes to Wisconsin? Is that right?
Yeah, he's the president of Wisconsin.
It's just a club, though. They don't have like a...
Correct. I don't think any NCAA school has or any Division I school has an NCAA rugby team. That's
kind of shocking that it hasn't like made its way over here.
I mean, it's getting much more popular.
Yeah.
It's way cooler than football, I think.
It's definitely like, man, look the frick out. Yeah.
Like if you combine soccer and football together and you got rugby.
Yeah. Dude, those guys are so big. Oh,
The rugby guys?
yes.
Some of them, yeah.
Yep. They are absolutely like the All Blacks are menacing.
Right.
Those dudes are unreal.
And this kid's not small. He's like 6'3" or 6'4", 230.
That's a yeah. That's actually pretty big. Yeah, never mind. That's like a linebacker
Yeah. Big wide receiver.
without pads running at you. Oh God.
But can't wait to get him strong one day.
Yeah, no kidding. Where did he start when he was with you? Like,
Weak as piss.
what was his weight at? The same, or did you just?
I don't think so. I think he was maybe like 200 pounds.
I was about to say. It sounds like he's probably put some weight on since knowing you. Does strength mean power increase? You may be surprised by the answer. Care to intake on that one? I just got an email about that.
Does strength mean power increase?
I don't know. It was some
Not a
newsletter.
guarantee, but yeah, it's definitely going to help. It's an indicator that it could be.
I would like to read this.
You have more potential for power with more strength, but
It's
power
the end of the
requires
summer.
a speed component. So
Yeah. Every time we assess, we utilize velocity readings to get two different readings. High PR at 0.9 meters per second. This gives us an approximate peak power assessment for squat and bench press. Highest PR at 0.3. This gives us a true.
Where did you get this from?
Cody Hughes. It's just he's a high school strength and conditioning coach. I followed him way back in the day when I was a lost puppy in the woods. Something
So 0.3 is slower than 0.9, correct? I always get this shit confused.
Yeah, 0.3 is like the end range of absolute strength values and measurements. 0.2 to 0.3 meters per second it means the bar is moving slow. So like last night we were doing box squat and we had the bar speed measure on there, and I told him we're trying to hit numbers anywhere between 0.2 and 0.3. If the bar was moving over 0.3, we added more weight for them. So we knew that we were developing the specific quality that we wanted to build. Even though we had multiple athletes' strength go up to 0.3 meters per second, we did not see the power, 0.9, necessarily follow it. What does this mean? I firmly believe that power must be trained specifically and with high frequency, specific to the movement in which power needs to be expressed. For example, our developmental football group was in strength development focused this summer. We did not see many power gains, but saw strength gains. Some food for thought. The quality you feed is one that grows. The quality that gets starved will die. Care to give your feedback on that one?
I was responding to one of these rugby kids. What?
Good God, I have to read that all over again? Now who's not paying attention?
I wasn't, because this kid was asking me what an MSM was for and why we would do rack pulls with deadlifts. And I'm like,
ooh, go ahead.
Similar movement.
Yeah, I did that with my kids last
It's going
night.
to be similar to the main movement, and it's going to allow you to use submaximal weight to build more strength.
They were like, what's this MSM thing? Because I use it with my kids. I'm like, oh, mechanically similar movement. So they're like, oh, okay. Not that hard to figure out. Anyway, do I have to read that all again, or do you care?
I don't care.
He was saying that if you don't feed one quality, the other one dies. Or like if you feed strength, power will not go up. So like he said that they were focusing on developing strength for their football players instead of power. And so their strength went up, but their power numbers went down.
I think using the example of strength and power together is poor.
Yeah.
Because strength is 50% of power. So if you increase the power,
depends on which book you read.
There's no way the power is not going to go up at all.
Yeah, I think you would have to measure it on force plates then and not just rely on the bar speed, correct?
Well, bar speed is that's measuring speed again.
Well, that's what he's saying is like their numbers, they PR'd more weight, same, but like bar speed was moving at 0.3, but then when they tried to move things faster, they couldn't necessarily move things faster just because their strength had gone up, is what he's saying. But it sounds like
separate qualities.
Yeah, but that's what he's saying. It's like we didn't focus on the power component as much as we did the strength component this summer.
He needs to stop calling it fucking power. It's speed.
Whatever you want to call it. Everyone uses a different word.
No, motherfucker, the goddamn fucking force velocity curve works this way. It's fucking strength and speed.
Yeah, I'm saying if you
Power's right in the middle. That's how you develop power by having strength and speed.
Yeah, that's
you don't just work on fucking power. Nothing happens when you work on power.
No, I'm just saying
would be way stronger if that
when you read one book, it might say speed. You read another book, it says power. Then you need another one, it says explosive.
No, the fucking force velocity curve is about speed and strength.
Yes.
In the middle, you can make power where they come together.
I'm not disagreeing with you. We're not.
Therefore, you cannot improve power without working on speed and strength.
Yeah, it's about shifting the line.
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Shifting the line.
Fucking, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Nope. Never mind. You're not listening, but that's okay.
No, you're saying you can't increase power by just increasing strength, and you're like, well, we didn't work on power. Well, yeah, why the fuck would you work on power if you're not including speed?
Yeah, I'm saying he's definitely using the wrong term. I'm not disagreeing with you that. I'm saying that if you read different texts, they will use different terms but talk about the same thing. That's what I'm saying. So like
those texts are fucking stupid.
Well, there's some of them the ones that Louis recommended. That's all I'm saying. I
don't recall them using different words. They all based it off the fucking force velocity curve.
Well, if you read, what is it? The explosive strength and power development for athletes, it talks about power all the time in there, but it's talking about the same velocities that like explosive strength would be built underneath. So it's also some of them change the time and the speeds that each quality is developed. Like if you read one book, it says explosive strength is 1 to 1.2 or and then other books will say anything above 1.2. So I don't know.
Well, I just use what the Soviets say and use percentages.
Yeah, I just go to science and practice
and go to sit there and fucking measure it.
Yeah. Well, some kids were getting upset last night because they were like, well, I'm not even hitting 0.2. And I'm like, yeah, but it's on the last rep. That's fine. Like that's a good thing. You're moving the bar slow because
why would you want to move that slow?
Huh?
Why would you want to move it so? 0.2 is slow, right?
Yeah.
Why would you want to move it that slowly?
0.2 to 0.3. That's how you develop absolute strength.
No, you develop absolute strength by doing a fucking 1 rep max, bro.
I know, but if you look at the numbers of bar speed, if you look at bar speed, that's the quality that's being developed when it says that.
This is why people fucking get so confused about this stupid shit, because they want to bring in metrics that don't matter.
Oh my lord. Hold on.
Motherfucker, you develop absolute strength by straining. That's how you develop absolute strength.
I know this.
I don't need a fucking stupid device to tell me that.
I know this.
Jesus Christ. I've never heard of anyone using a VBT device for fucking max effort. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Why would that be dumb? You're measuring the speed of the quality that you need to actually do. What are you talking about?
No, you need to put intent behind it. You can move it slow as fuck on accident. It doesn't mean that you're getting maximal effort. I can do tempo reps and move it at 0.2, and that's not a max effort, jackass.
I'm not saying that you can, but I'm saying that when they're moving the bar at 0.5, 0.6, things like that, obviously it's easy for us to be like, okay, it's moving too fast. For the quality you want to develop, put more weight on the bar.
This is the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard.
Sure, but it's literally using the force velocity curve.
Absolute failure, which is straining for 10 seconds before you quit.
That's
how you develop max absolute strength. I don't need a fucking device to tell me that. It's the dumbest thing ever.
I'm just saying it's more feedback. I don't know why you're opposed to more feedback.
Because then people get misconstrued and they're like, well, I didn't get this to point. Like, fuck that number. It doesn't matter. Did you try as hard as you could?
No, but like some kids will literally go, that was really hard. And then the bar will be moving at like 0.6. And I'm like, that's not hard. You're not straining. We need the number to be lower. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just go, yeah, you're a pussy. Add more weight.
Okay, well, I'm a little nicer than you, jackass. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll ask them, I'm like, what do you think the RPE was? Well, I go, no, that's wrong. Do it again.
But that's pointless. Like, and they can see objective feedback is what I'm saying, is like they can see the number and then they can correlate the two.
They don't need feedback if they don't know how to try yet.
Well,
they're about putting the cart before
they're
the horse.
Thinking they're trying if they're doing it and then it's moving at 0.6. And I'm like, no, you're not trying. Like, you need more weight. They're like, that was really, really hard. That was a 10. I'm like, no, that bar moved fast as hell. Like, we're going to put more weight on the bar. That's what I'm saying.
Ridiculous.
I don't don't think it's ridiculous. I think it's just feedback.
Yeah, because it doesn't, just because it moves at a certain speed doesn't mean you're training absolute strength. That's all there is to it.
But they're straining more is what I'm saying. Like they actually learn how to strain.
That's, you just add more weight to the fucking bar. You don't need a device to tell you that.
That's what. Oh my god. If a kid doesn't understand,
now I know why Louis didn't use these stupid fucking devices.
He did use them actually, and he got rid of them. So.
He got rid of them. Oh, that's a weird caveat.
Well, yeah, because he learned how to actually develop and learn and solve what the bars. I'm not saying it's something I'm going to use all the time. Like I can look at a bar and go, yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is a kid thinks it might be a 10, and I can look at the thing and go, no, every rep that you just did was 0.6 or 0.7. So it's obviously not a weight. It's not a 10. So it's a way to have a communication with my athlete to say, no, that's not the amount of weight that you need to have on the bar. That's what I'm saying.
Wouldn't it be safe to say that none of them know what a 10 is until you show them?
That's oh my god.
Why do you need a device to do that? Yeah. What are we talking about?
It's called objective feedback, dude. Instantaneous feedback.
Try harder. That's the feedback they need.
Oh my god. I don't know why you're getting upset with me for using
I'm not upset.
Feedback.
You're the only one getting upset in this scenario. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, because you're telling what I'm doing is stupid, but it's not. It actually works.
It sounds pretty fucking dumb when a kid thinks he did bad because they didn't get 0.2.
No, I didn't say they think they're doing bad. I didn't say that they're doing bad.
You just said that you had kids last night that got done and said that they didn't feel like they did it right because they didn't get 0.2.
No, they said they weren't moving, they weren't straining enough. And I'm like, yeah, you're not straining enough, right? Like, because you're moving in the bar at 0.5. They're like, that wasn't hard enough. I'm like, yeah, put more weight on the bar.
Just quit being a pussy is basically what I covered here.
Oh my god. Oh, that's fine. I'm just not going to tell a 14-year-old girl that she's a pussy. I'm not going to do that.
I would.
Well, okay.
110%.
That's
I tell my 10-year-old niece to quit being a pussy.
It's fine. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not.
Well, then you're going to have pussies. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, really? Because they were pretty well dying underneath their bars last night. So I don't think they were being pussies. I think they were working very hard.
Sound like mental snowflakes.
Well, I mean, kids don't know how to strain.
He's got a bunch of mental midgets.
They don't know how to try hard yet. You're right about that.
Yeah, man, just give them a safe setup and show them. There you go.
Dear God.
I made a kid die on the pendulum squat the other day. I've never heard anyone scream in agony like that in my life.
That sounds terrible.
It was great.
Yeah.
I proceeded to make him do leg extensions to failure.
Yeah. Taking accessories to failure is hard to get kids to understand as well.
Oh, no, it's easy. You just do it one time for them, and then they're like, oh, I'm not working at all.
Just keep going. Just keep going. Keep going until you can't.
Every time I've done it, the kid has signed up for a membership.
Don't do it. Just keep going. Keep going until you die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a 4. If you're still smiling and laughing after you get done with your accessory set, you're probably not taking it to failure.
This kid was like wallowing in agony.
I would imagine if you're taking pendulum squats, the freaking failure, those suck.
Like I had to lift it up for him and he still had a hard time standing up.
Ugh. Yeah, that's not fun. That's how I felt on the damn hack squat when I was out there. On my last set, I was like...
Yeah, I've made it worse now, though. We just do drop sets until you can't move anymore.
Ugh.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, drop sets are fun, except they're not.
Yeah, so if you just made that part of your protocol for all the kids, then they would know and you wouldn't need a machine.
Just
this is what you have to do.
Every accessory, you were just... When you think you're done with that set, okay, we're going to take some weight off, and then you're just going to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
precisely.
Yeah, those suck. Drop sets are not fun.
So this kid, he's like, "Oh, I'm excited to do the pendulum." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, we'll see about that when we get to it."
I don't think you understand what's about to happen, sir.
No, nobody has any idea.
No. People don't really know what failure is, or training to failure, or almost failure.
Because most people just work out; they don't train.
Yeah. Like I was doing, I don't know, what was I doing this morning? What was the first accessory I did? I can't think right now. My brain's not working.
What's new?
Oh, pec fly, like costal pec flies. And they were like I was like having a hard time on the last few getting them to actually get to where I wanted them to go.
Well, that's too far for metabolic work, so you're doing it wrong.
Well, no, like last 2 reps. If it wasn't like hard, it was just like I can't contract anymore. I got nothing to go. And they're like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I can't squeeze any harder than I'm squeezing." They're like, "Oh, that looks hard."
You're
I'm
out of
like,
shape.
"Yeah, they look hard because they are hard."
Shouldn't be. They're IRM things. None of that's hard.
What? Whether you get a pump, they are to contract.
Yeah, I mean, good.
Huh?
Feels good.
Yeah, I didn't say it didn't feel good. I'm just saying it's hard to contract when you got a pump going on. You ding dong.
You need to work on your description of things.
My what?
Your description of things. You should work on being an English teacher.
No, I don't want to be an English
Use
teacher.
of the language is poor.
Use the language is poor. I think I communicate pretty well with what I want.
Debatable.
Sorry, we're not all perfect like you, buddy.
No one said I was perfect.
Well,
I talk to people and their eyes just glaze over because I sound like a textbook.
yeah, so maybe you need to work on your communication skills. Dumb it down a little.
I mean, I can definitely make it more retarded for folks. That's for sure.
There you go.
I choose not to because I don't want to help those people.
Yeah, well. Oh, gosh.
Like, why should I change? Fuck that. Get on my level. I had a client tell me that at Gold's one time. She's like, "You sound like a textbook." I was like, thanks.
That's kind of how things are achieved, by the book.
I don't really know what to say to that, but appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would know how to respond to that either. Like, what do you want me to say? I'm trying to do things by the book so that I can get the things I want.
I didn't read many books back then, but yeah. No real incentive to learn education when you work at a box gym.
Well, no, not really. They just want people walking through their door.
Yeah, and they just want people paying. So you learn the skill of sales. You don't learn the skill of training.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to learn this. I mean, you have to sell stuff, obviously, but I don't want that to be.
I'm telling you, man, everyone that comes in, you just fucking crush them and they'll sign up. I mean, like 1,000% conversion rate at that.
I'm going to go. All right. We're going to do.
I made one kid puke on the hack squat and now he pays me to see me 3 times a week.
I'm like, all right, dude, we're just going to do Hatfield squats until you die. Just put a weight on there, Hatfield squat, and then.
Yeah, there you go. Reverse band it so the resistance profile is nice and favorable and just fucking crush them.
Just be like, here's 2 plates, and then we're going to work down from here.
Yeah, they'll come back. I think what it does is it just makes them realize how much they suck, and then they don't want to suck. So they're like, all right, fine, I will pay you.
I feel like you don't even have to do that much to make them realize sometimes, though.
Yeah, but it's just more fun to crush their complete
It's just like being an asshole to people.
Just fucking. I made the powerlifting president sick from his workout the other day.
Good night. Was that? Wait, no, that's not the bigger guy, is it?
Yeah, the Muslim kid.
Got it.
We did 1 rep max against blue bands, and then we did 3 rep max to a low box. So he did 13.5 inches. Then we did pendulum squats for a top set of 5. And then he did 3 different supersets for accessories.
Just killed the poor person.
His squat, though, he got 635 at the top, and it was 585 in the hole.
My God. To a 13-inch box?
Was his best. No, that was just free squatting.
Oh, free squatting. Okay.
He did 515 to a 13-inch box.
That's also impressive.
A top set of 3.
God, 13 inches. My kids hate when I bring out the 13-inch box and 12-inch box. They're like so far down there. I'm like, kind of where we need to go, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, the 585 in the hole with the bands. That's the best he's done as a whole on squats on the platform.
Wow. 585 is his best?
On the platform. And he blew right through it with bands.
Jeez. Just said, here we go.
Well, he's just gotten way stronger.
That's crazy. What kind of bands? Green bands?
Blues.
Just smoked it, huh?
It was 120 pounds of band tension.
God, that's terrifying when you smoke blue bands out of the hole with that much weight. Good
So
night.
he had 515 on the bar, 120 pounds of band tension.
Good God. Yeah, that's terrifying.
It didn't even like you got a little hiccup in the middle, and that was it. Like we probably could have added another 20 pounds or so.
God.
I was just tired of waiting. I was like, we gotta fucking go. This is taking too long.
How long does that guy train with you? Is it kind of the same duration that you train yourself?
It took us 3 hours to get through that workout.
Yeah.
On Monday.
Yeah. No, I get that. Like I think parents ask me that have asked me that question a lot. Like kids will come in from 6 to 8 and they're like, "What are you guys doing?" I'm like, "We're training." Like leave me alone. Like I don't this isn't a 45-minute thing.
Most of my sessions are now an hour and a half because between the FRC and all the jumps
Yeah.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I made him 6, so I probably got to reduce the amount of volume in the because like he's the only one that's trained with me all summer. So the other 3 kids that I coach, they're gonna be like super fucksville when they start tomorrow.
They haven't been doing anything.
One of them has not. The other 2 have been doing stuff. They
Oh
just haven't been
God.
training with me. Like they've been doing my programming, but there's a vast difference between doing what I write on your own and me taking you through it.
Yeah, for sure. Man, yeah, that's always a big one. Like, why did my kids have to take so long training? Because we're training. We're not.
I mean, if you're only doing it 3 times a week, it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, we got to get to whatever we get to. We got to do what we got to do to make things happen. I can't. Rest is important. Like, I can't rush the process here.
Yeah, I want to speed up the beginning of it so bad, and I'm just like, I can't.
Can't. Yeah, you can't. Like, it's so funny. Sometimes people will see, like, through the window, they're like, why are your kids standing around so much? I'm like,
Because intensity is high.
Because intensity is through the roof right now. You go ask that kid how they feel when they get out from under that bar. They need that rest.
I do like the contrast of the metabolic stuff at the end, though. Then they don't have to rest, and they're like, "Well, this sucks too."
Yeah.
Like, what do you want from me?
It's all bad. I hate to break it to you guys.
Like, even their hypertrophy stuff, I am more metabolic because they only get 90 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's a superset that takes, what is it?
Should be
248. It takes about 90 seconds, and then they get the same amount of rest, roughly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah. I try to limit.
Yeah, they're the supersets I gave you.
Yeah. I'm just trying to limit rest on that.
3 of those on top of doing 3 top sets.
Ooh.
And what I was going to make them do is do max effort, the 5th set, and then the ARPE.
For like
that's what I've been doing.
The 6 reps
those
stuff?
fucking wreck me. But I'm doing brief maximal tension instead of the max effort.
So you do it.
So like my stones today, I have to do 3x6.
So brief maximal tension on that. MSM and then ARP.
Zercher squats with the bamboo bar, which are the most motherfucking terrible things in the world.
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk about a back builder?
Yeah, you have to.
And bro, if you haven't ordered those fucking sandbags yet, you are fucking up. That thing just crushed me the other day.
They'll build strength, huh?
Are you kidding me? You want to talk about like locomotion and fucking upper back strength? Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Like 60-foot runs at 225 were fucking terrible.
Yeah, that does not sound fun.
No.
I have so much.
You need to get a bunch of those on order. They're fucking, those things are, that's why Ziegler has these freaks that can squat these crazy weights to a box.
They're just carrying those all the time at the end of their workout. Yeah.
Whatever they're carrying. But yeah, carries are no joke.
Yeah, he's got some pretty explosive kids and some pretty strong kids.
Fuck yeah, he does.
Their hips have to be brutally strong if they're doing all that. I mean,
the one girl only plays for the U.S. national team for soccer.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job. And people still question that, man. That's crazy to me.
The sandbags, dude, game over.
Game over.
Fucking I made one kid collapse and fall down carrying a sandbag. I made him do this death circuit, but we started with belt marches, and then we did belt marches with fucking kettlebells, and then we did the death ski, and then we did max effort on the airdyne for 10 seconds, and then we did max effort rows for 30 seconds, and then I made him do 100 yards carrying a 120-pound sandbag, and he fucking collapsed.
Jeez.
He's like, next thing I knew, I was on the ground. And then he picked it up and finished it.
What a dog.
Yeah, this kid doesn't quit.
What
I
it?
was like, Jesus.
What belt squat machine do you guys have? The Rhino?
Yeah. I only like it for marches.
Yeah. I have to find a way to do marches setups better with my kids. Right now, I'm just using bands.
Fahey setup.
Hmm?
Fahey setup.
Yeah, I need to get loading pins. I got to find the loading pins for it.
And then you can put them on boxes and make them do squats.
Yep. Yep. All things I have done in the past. I like to do
Like, did
those.
you see Steven's fucking kid that he made do marches for 2 minutes and he got like a 2-inch vertical PR?
Who?
Voodoo for power.
Oh, yeah. That was based on the. Did you listen to the Fahey and Goodman podcast?
I've heard Fahey talk about it, but I haven't
Yeah.
listened to it.
So that, I mean, I'm sure that's what it was in reference to because Fahey talked about how he had kids do marches and then they went over there, did a vertical PR. The
Exactly.
post activation potentiation or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, that's the other thing I made that kid do with the 1 rep max. It was French contrast. So it was a French contrast 1 rep max.
Ugh.
So it was the 1 rep max into, what was it? Did we do hurdle hops? Yep, hurdle hops into dumbbell jumps into banded jumps.
Banded jumps and then you did a 1 rep max. Yeah.
No, you do the rep
1 rep
max
max
first.
first. Yeah. Old French contrast.
That takes an extremely high level of conditioning, it would seem.
Yes. If you're doing them right after boom, 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 with no rest. Yeah. That's definitely tough. But yeah.
So I don't think I get to use it with the kids yet. But
No, I think it's too much. I think it's too much for them.
oh man, I made him do some banded rows last night. Those things are nasty.
Banded rows. Like bands over the bar, just like a bent over row.
Yeah, so set up your deadlift and
Yeah.
row that fucking thing.
Yeah. Those suck. I've used those a lot.
I've never used them. I was like, ooh, this is a good one.
Oh yeah, they'll rip. You try to pull that thing. Oh god, at the top it just kills you.
I didn't have that problem, but I'm not a pussy, so
Well, my back's not that strong, so
yeah, you gotta work on that.
I'm working on it. I did 225 the other day for 2.
I tried blues or not blues, blacks. I was like, well, that's too light. And then we went to purples. I'm like, this still feels too light.
What'd you have on the bar though?
They only had 135 at that point.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
But someone in the gym tried. He's like, that's really hard. So I was like, all right, I gotta try this.
They shouldn't say really hard in front of you, probably.
No. Those bent over rows, though, those are like fucking French chef's kiss.
Big fan, huh?
I think for bigger movements, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And like it is the exact opposite of your bench press. So if you're not good at doing that,
How are you gonna
like
be
ironically,
bench
this
big?
kid got the same with purple bands on the row as he did on the bench. Who would have thought?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Is it though?
No, I mean it makes sense. Yeah, like if you're rowing, essentially you should be rowing the same that you're benching. But
You should be rowing more than you're benching.
yeah,
I don't, but I should be.
yeah, I definitely don't. Well, I mean, I did 225 for 2. I'm not as far off as I would say I'm probably, yeah, but
But my bent over row went up like 50 pounds and my bench went up 30.
makes sense. Yeah, I use them quite frequently with my kids. We do a lot of rows. Do a lot of rows.
I think after all the strongman stuff, my back's gonna be ridiculously way more strong than it was before.
I don't know who I saw, but maybe it was Elite FTS that talked about how important rowing is. Single arm rows, bent over rows,
So I don't understand why nobody gives it its own day.
kettlebell rows.
Like,
I
why
think
are we skipping this movement that's probably more important than most of them?
everybody just uses it as like a secondary movement usually. Yeah.
Yeah, why are you hitting it with the same intensity?
Like taking it to a 2 or 3 rep. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I made him do a 1 rep max with those bands last night.
That's nice.
Then we did sternal press for 3s and then bamboo bar for 5. So I found a way to make him bench 5 times a week without having to spread it out over every fucking day.
Right. Right. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, because you're just, I mean, yeah, you're essentially hitting the same tissue.
What do you mean?
Like the way you're doing. Wait, so how are you doing your bench press? So you do bench max, and then you did. What do you do for your
Did a
MSM 2 board?
bench against bands or bench against accommodating resistance.
Yep.
Then we did buffalo bar for a top set of 3.
Gotcha.
Then the 1.5 board on the American bar for a top set of 5.
Gotcha. And then you're doing what on the rowing day? You did the banded rows. You did
Sternal
sternal
press,
and then
bamboo bar.
yeah. So yeah, you're doing 5 bench movements and and people, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you're
In
just
9 days.
structuring, yeah, you're just structuring it different as far as like how you're hitting your accessories, like or secondary lifts or however you would see it.
I like
Right?
to call them auxiliary lifts. Yeah,
Yeah, whatever you want to call them. Yeah.
I think auxiliary is a good word.
You like that word? I always think like I'm a douchebag when I say auxiliaries. I'm just like, do accessories. I said auxiliaries one time. My kids are like,
Because accessories are single joint movements, in my opinion.
right. Well, someone said the other day, they're like, do you just only do single joint exercises when you get to your accessory work? And I'm like, no, not really. They're like, well, what are your,
I do.
what do you call the difference between the two? And I'm like, well, I call them secondary movements, and then I do accessory work. So
Secondary works.
yeah, your auxiliary would be my word for secondary. Yeah,
I mean, really, MSMs are the best term
yeah,
for them. I feel
that's
like, but
fair.
I'm not going to steal Swede's juju.
Yeah, that is a good term for it. So that's like kids. They asked me like we squatted last night, and then we did a different variation of a squat, and they're like, "Why are we squatting twice?" And I'm like,
Well,
"Well,
because really, the low rep ones are to test it. This is what I don't think anybody gets about the West Side system is the
right,
1 rep max stuff is a tester. It's not a fucking builder.
right, right." I'm like, "Well, the 3s and the 5s, we're just trying to see if you're improving. 3s,
I think if
5s,
you
4s, whatever."
swap it for brief maximal tension, it can be a builder. But if you're not accumulating volume,
Yeah, like I think kids just need to do like more. Like they're not. I'm not testing them very often. Like we do more building, way more building than we do testing. But those guys, they're always constantly testing whatever their 1 rep maxes. We're on a variety of different lifts, but we don't need that much variety. So we just swap it to brief maximal tension, and then we do an MMSM or some kind of auxiliary lift to help supplement that to build more.
I also think I like the top double as a better tester because then if you don't get 2, you know what your 1 is.
Right. Yeah, that's actually I like like you and Kyler talked. I think Kyler and Cooper and all you guys talked about that. Like you could go for 2 if you get the first one, and then you don't get the second one. You already know what your 1 is. If you get 2, it's just like consolation prize.
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense.
like the new kid I had yesterday, I made him do the trap bar for doubles.
Well, kids don't know how to strain either.
See what happens, and he got the first one, didn't get the second one. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's 1 rep. That's fine. I'll take that.
Kids don't know how to strain either. So you try to give them a 1, they just don't know how to.
We could extrapolate that to people don't know how to strain.
Agreed. Yeah. I would agree with that.
It's funny though, there's a girl I secretly help on the team with FRC stuff.
Secretly?
She's just been,
why are you saying secretly?
Her coach doesn't know. So it's a secret.
Gotcha.
I think her ability to strain in isometrics has directly carried over into her ability to crush rep maxes with weight on her back.
Because she understands intensity.
She understands straining now.
Yep.
Posted a video there. She's like, I would have quit on this before. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's the isometrics.
Yeah, absolutely. Figure out how to keep pressing. Keep pulling.
Not to mention, I think the FRC is keeping her healthy instead of being in pain.
Achy and painful all the time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we did 1 session before she left, and she could squat better than she had like all year, form wise.
That's what
like this is crazy. I'm like, neurological tension is a real thing.
The girl that I have, that's her bench has just gone up and up and up and up. She does really well, and some of the girls really struggle. But I convinced her a long time ago, like, hey, even when you're not coming here, or you can do these on your own, you can do this extra FRC work to kind of help speed the process up and keep your joints happy and healthy for as much volume as we do, you know. And she does it pretty religiously. It's like obviously there's correlation between her numbers continuing to go up through the roof and other people's kind of going up and slowly going up. You know what I mean? They're like, what is she doing different? And I'm like, she puts in the extra time. She wants her numbers to go up, so she's going to do the extra work. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, straining at end range is way harder than straining in the middle of the muscle where it's strong.
Right.
So like even at my meet, when I get stuck at a bench, I can hold it forever, it seems like.
Right there in the middle? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, well, it's just not moving.
Like the one you said you felt like, oh, whatever. I'll just hold this here. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, then my second meet, I literally had to tell them to take it because it hadn't dropped. I'm like, guys, it's not going.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
but it wasn't like fatiguing for me because, well, if I strain those tissues at end range in the middle where there's more tissue to use, it's not like
Yeah,
not hard.
way harder at the end. Way harder.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Almost like I've created a foolproof system.
Well, like FRC, people are like, why are you doing that so hard? And I'm like, it's kind of how it's supposed to be done. Like, I don't
I
know.
love when people are like, oh, I do those stretches that you do. I go, oh god, like, and every time I take somebody through a session for the first time, they're like, this is really fatiguing. I'm like, it's not a workout.
Yeah. Why do you think my days on well, someone asked me like what do you like your recovery days? I'm like, no, I do not like my recovery days because I'm every time I open it up and I'm like, oh, I just have to take a deep breath and be like, here we go, we got to get through this because it's hard, man. I hate.
I only do that on the scapula day.
Oh god, yeah, there's so much,
It's
so
not even
many.
that much. It's just awful. Like that's where my body does not want to be. Like scapular retraction, my fucking body. It took me like a year to get comfortable in that position.
Mine is like cervical extension. I hate that one.
Did your body freak out?
My
I've had a
neck.
couple clients where their body is just like on fucking high alert and does not want to be in that position.
Yeah, I don't love mine doesn't love it. It's just super uncomfortable for me. I'm like, I hate this. Like
Got some trauma there, huh?
I just hate sitting there in that position. Yeah, I don't know. Just feels
Well,
weird.
people I did it with had serious trauma in those positions,
And
and their
then
body did not want to sit there.
yeah. I
Like the
have
special forces guy I had do it, he was like fucking hyperventilating almost, and like, Jesus Christ, is this guy gonna be okay?
I see people with hips that have trouble even like they're like, I hate being in these positions. I hate 90-90. I
Because they
hate
probably have fucking hip problems,
yeah. I'm like, well, yeah, you sit all the time. So when you're constantly in that
or you
position,
got injured. Like when your body stores trauma in an area, it doesn't forget.
yeah, doesn't want to mess with that.
Like my brother got a hip replacement, and after his third PT session, they're like, "I don't think you need to come anymore."
Jeez.
They're like having him do stuff, and he's doing it way better than they want him to. They're like, "Well, no, not that far." He's like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Trying to
They're making him do wall sits, and he's like parallel with the ground, and they're like, "No, no, no, not that low." We do FRC stuff 3 times a week.
it always it cracks me up when people come from back from PT. They're like, yeah, I don't feel like it really did anything. I'm like,
Well, every time I've had somebody come to me and go to PT, every time they go back to the PT, they're confused as to how they've made so much progress.
oh yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
I'm like, well, funny thing is, we're actually building tissue and creating changes as opposed to coddling ourselves.
Stretching.
Well, I mean, we stretch ish.
No, I mean like
Like I had one
they're
girl that
just
had a
holding
knee surgery,
positions.
and every time she would go back to PT, they were confused at how she had more knee flexion. They're like, wait, what?
Well, like
I'm
yeah,
like, well, just keep doing whatever you're doing then.
like I had a kid. He just had that cartilage surgery, and his like knee doesn't extend as well. And I'm like, well, we can do some like pills and rails work for it, and try to put it in a position where we can kind of make it not hurt, but it can still work that. And he was like, I don't know. And I'm like, are you gonna listen to the PT that you've only known for 3 days, or are you gonna try to trust me here and like figure this
Well,
out
you don't give
together?
them the option. You just tell them this is what you're doing.
Yeah. So, but
The
we
basis of it is if you don't drive force through those places, you're not going to rebuild the tissue correctly, and then you're going to have scar tissue, and it's not going to work the same.
yep. That's why PT doesn't work because they never get back. They don't push you to a level of like getting back to the same level of functionality.
Well, I don't think they're taught the basics of it that force is the language of cells. So if force is the
Probably
language
true.
of cells, then you need to drive force through different areas to get them to communicate properly.
Yep.
I also don't think they understand that the joint capsule is the very first thing that detects movement in your body and has a direct signal to your brain that does not go through the spinal cord.
Yep. Everyone's scared to mess themselves back up, though.
I feel like you get them in those isometrics and they relieves a lot of that because the neurological tension releases too.
That's what I thought too. I'm like, this will actually probably better. You'll feel way better after you're done. Like it's gonna suck in the moment, but once you're done, you'll feel way better. I feel like.
Yeah, everyone does say that. They're like, it sucks while we're doing it, but when we get out of it, it feels great.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, yeah, the neurological tension has been released.
that's this one guy that's been coming to me for just this last week. We've been doing hip work, and he sits all day, and he's like, man, my hips feel so much better just after a week. And I'm like, it's because you're not just stuck in that position all the time now. Like, Ugh. Yeah. I think people just learn to accept that they have their pain and they try to live with it. It's like, well, you don't have
It's
to.
part of getting old, allegedly.
You don't have to do that. You can try to feel better.
It's part of getting old. I hear that all the time. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm like, if that's the case, I don't want to get that old.
Well, it's ridiculous. No, you just don't use your goddamn body.
Right. Maybe you should do some things that'll stress yourself a little bit.
A little bit.
Do hard things, people.
I also can't get people to understand that when I try to get them to train is to improve their quality of life so they don't get injured or sick, and then they think it's just for X, Y, or Z sport. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about your sport.
No.
I really don't care. Like, it's not the point.
I want you to keep living well beyond
Sport
your
gets
years.
you to care about it, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Trying to make you a harder human to kill.
Yeah, but nobody wants to do the work.
No.
Like, I get these people that are, high achieving professionals or they're students in law school, and they're like, well, just have so much to do. And I'm like, yeah, so do this for fucking 20 minutes and everything else you get better at.
Let's just start there, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. They just don't look at it through the same lens that we do. I don't think. I don't know.
I don't know how they look at it. It doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. Like when Menno released the fucking post, like, working out makes you smarter. Like, no shit.
You mean
Been saying
neurological
this for over a
stimulation?
decade.
Neurological stimulation is probably a good thing. Yeah.
Why I do judge people that don't lift. I go, you're fucking dumber than you could be.
Yeah. No kidding. Jeez.
You could be less retarded just by working out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, said the R word. Whoopsies.
Fired. We just got canceled again.
I can only hope.
Can only hope.
Yeah, I need some publicity of some sort.
You just go viral for saying the R word on a podcast.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways to go viral. I'm not sure that's one of them anymore because Eminem just kind of blew that whole thing. Yeah.
I was trying to, so I get all these OnlyFans girls that try to get me to subscribe. The other day, I was like, fuck this. I'm going to see if I can get her as a client.
On Instagram?
Yeah. So, she just kept saying, I'm like, I finally got to the point I was like, look, I'm not going to subscribe to your OnlyFans. It's not going to happen. I go, but here's my session rates for an hour and an hour and a half. You're more than welcome to come to the gym and we can talk and hang out then.
Nothing.
It hasn't worked, but
No reply.
I figured why not flip the script?
Oh, man. Yeah, if you're going to come at me, I'm going to come right back at you, buddy.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it, this is perfect sales training.
Yep.
Like, they have the money to afford what I want, so let's go.
Yeah, find a way.
This poor girl, I was like, man, I can make you so much hotter, you'd make way more money.
Ooh. Ooh, I bet that sounds well.
I mean, they're always intrigued.
Yeah, I don't.
You'd be amazed at with women, especially, like, yeah, I can make you so much hotter. They're like, wait, what? Really?
It's their but that's their marketing tool. So I mean,
no, I mean any women. It doesn't even have to be an OnlyFans one.
Gotcha.
Like now they're all ears. Like, wait, what? Especially if they've grown up as a pretty girl and no one's ever told them that. Reverse psychology.
Yeah, they've just been constantly fed that their entire lives.
Yeah. And I go, well, you could be hotter. What? Well, gym has ruined me.
It's just, hey, we see it all the time, every day, 24/7. It's just, that's like Daniel's, did you see his post?
Yes.
Yeah. That's really, oh, you mean you don't want to be sexier? Oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
I don't want to get big and muscular. You mean what?
You mean you don't want your muscles to show? You don't want, yeah, that's always been a weird one for me as well.
It used to piss me off so much at Gold's. Like, well, I don't want to get too, I grow really fast. I don't want to get too big. And I'm like, motherfucker, I've been trying for years and it still hasn't happened. So what are you talking about?
Right.
You think you're that special? Jesus Christ.
It's tissue growing is not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is. And you have to eat well enough to get that tissue to do what it needs to do.
Yeah, like fucking 8 donuts.
Those look pretty delicious.
Pretty delicious, dude. Those are fire.
That last one you rated, that Oreo looking one, you rated 8 out of 10. I was like, that's surprising. I figured that'd be the best one.
Bavarian cream.
No good.
It's good. It's just there's rotating flavors, so I don't know what the 10 out of 10 is like yet. They were all good. There wasn't a bad one.
Yeah, they looked pretty delicious. Did you get all 12? The
I would
people want to
say
know.
I ate 8 of them. I gave away 4.
Ah, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. It was already 1,700 calories out of the 8. 39 grams of carbs,
I figured you
grams
just
of fat, and 3 grams of protein.
figured you'd get all 12.
I mean, I could have. I just chose to be nice and share.
No, Joey doesn't share food.
I mean, I did.
No, never mind.
I'll tell you, my stomach was plenty upset with just 8.
Oh, it's a lot of sugar.
Fair amount, yeah.
Fair amount.
Let's see how many grams of carbs I had yesterday.
Oh God.
I got my goal is 460, and yesterday I hit 637.
Good night.
Just out of those donuts, it was 312 grams of carbs, 48 grams of fat, and 24 grams of protein, which I think is stellar for 8 donuts.
It's funny, the vertical diet always like drastically cuts carbs when you're trying to like lose weight or whatever, and the protein content is super high. And then so people are like, oh, maybe I'll just go to bulking, because then all the because it's like plus 500 more calories and they're supposed to all come from carbs, and people are like, oh, I'll go the other way so I can have the 250 grams of carbs instead of the 50 grams of carbs. I'm like,
until they eat that much and they realize getting it in with no fat is a fucking,
it's really hard.
That's why I eat a loaf of sourdough a day almost.
Yeah, it's super, super hard. Well, then they were like,
one kid can't believe I just eat 10 slices of sourdough plain. He's like, you didn't do anything? I go, no, I do. I just got to get it in.
Yeah, just got to go. Get the water out.
That shit in the microwave, get it nice and warm, and let's fucking...
Dude, warm bread. There ain't much better than like warm bread.
Pretty tasty.
God, it's so good.
I did have 8 this morning with some fucking apricot preserves, so that's fucking fire.
Nice. I don't like apricot, but that's fine.
What?
People ask me like, how do I not eat all these carbs? Like when they're cutting on the vertical diet, they're like, my carb count is so low. And I'm like, what do I do? And I'm like, you got to eat vegetables and things like that.
More protein.
And eat a lot more protein.
Just eat the protein and you'll fucking be fine.
Yeah.
Most people can't crush that much protein.
No. I'm like, yeah, you're going to struggle just to get the protein, first of all. But if you eat that, you're not going to want all those carbs. So
I just had my strongman switch, and he's like, oh, getting 360 grams of protein was hard. And I'm like, dude, I accidentally get 200 every day almost.
Yep.
360 can't be that bad.
I've been hitting mine pretty consistently and not eating as many carbs. I'm not like where the vertical diet recommends, but my carbs are definitely lower, and like my weight's been going down where I want it to. So that's a good sign.
What I found is it
220.
seems to plateau at some point. So then I just put them on maintenance at the weight they want to be, and then they continue to lose slowly.
Yeah, someone asked me about the other day. They're like, what should you do if like you're losing, and then you hit this plateau? Like, should you go the opposite and start to bulk again, or should you just be put on maintenance, or like, what should you do? And I'm like, well, you got to change something up. So just for a small period of time, and then you can come back to it later if you want. But you can't just continually maintain yourself in a deficit forever. Like, it doesn't work that way. You got to kind of you got to hit the reset button every so often. So that's why it's good to track your metrics. That's why I told him, I'm like, it's really, really good and important to track your metrics so we can see when that plateau occurs, so we can make adjustments and then come back to it and go from there. So.
Ironically, with my powerlifting kid, guess when it was?
I don't know. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean?
Law of accommodation. Think about it.
Probably every 3 to 4 weeks.
6, but
6 weeks. Yeah.
You don't know the law of accommodation very well, sir.
Well, I mean, depends on whose law of accommodation you're talking about.
There's only one we talk about. What are you talking about?
I said Jesus 3 Christ. To 4. I said 3 to 4. That was in the 3 to 6. Come on now.
People can go 6 for most things. They're not fucking superhumans.
Kids can go 6, which is what I've noticed. So
freaks can go 3.
Yeah, they need a lot of variation. Yeah. AJ always said that extroverted people need a lot of variation too. I was like, that's interesting. Like if you're an extrovert, extroverted person.
What an extrovert is, but why would that change how often? Like, just tell them to shut the fuck up and follow the program.
But like introverted people are more likely to just be like, do what you tell them to do for longer periods of time, whereas like extroverted people get bored quicker. is what he is saying. So I was like, that's interesting.
I mean, maybe.
I could see it.
I just tell the extroverted people to fucking suck it up. That shit drives me crazy. Like, why are we doing the same thing? Well, because you have to get good at it.
What I saw one yesterday. I think it was Bondarchuk that said like there's two ways to like induce a stimulus, and it's like training volume, training duration, or training intensity, or something like that. And then the other one was like switch the exercises. And too many people are too fast to jump to number 2 instead of doing the other one, which is progressive overload. For two, you know what I mean? They're just like, oh, it's not working.
That's why when you said you're only thought you were doing strongman for a deload, like, no, dude, I want to get good at it because I'm absolutely fucking horrendous.
I just didn't know what your goal was. That's why I thought you were just taking a break from.
Bring out my weaknesses, and I suck at all of them. So
It's got to bring something up.
It'll bring everything up.
Yeah, yeah. Strongman is like one of those things. I feel like it just exposes you completely as a human being.
Yeah, you want to talk about functional training?
Yeah. What are we training for? To be just literally unkillable. Strongman, that's it.
That should be every athlete's off season. Like, fuck the bodybuilding. Eat in a surplus and do strongman stuff.
That's a pretty good way to look at it. So in the summer, just throw kids on all that and move on.
Yeah,
and then
I would do.
And then just maintain strength in season.
Sure. Although my rugby athlete got stronger through the entire season, he didn't maintain shit.
You just gave him the same workload, or did you just back off on anything?
Backed off tremendously. He just kept getting stronger. Numbers by the end of the season were way higher than they were in the beginning of the season. I was like, well, this doesn't make any sense by a theoretical perspective.
You think that's just because of a low training age, or what do you think that is? Just,
I mean, he was still doing maximal effort work.
Right. So he was still getting that neurological stimulus that he needed. You were just backing off on a lot of the extra volume that he had in his program.
Correct.
Yep.
I stole it from Quint. He's like, give them 3 sets of 1 at 90 to 100% of their max.
Yeah.
All right, done.
That's like,
and they get to pick so they can auto-regulate it.
I had a girl say that the other day. She's like, man, your off-season training is way different than your in-season training. She's like, usually in-season we're in and out in like 30, 45 minutes. I'm like, yeah, that's all I can do. And that's all we need. Like, I'm not trying to, you got to go play a sport. I can't have you in here for 2 hours just absolutely crushing you with that volume and then be like, hey, see you later. Go have fun, play your sport. Good luck. No, it's just stimulation. It's not annihilation.
He would do explosive stuff with jumps, and then he would do the max effort stuff, and then just metabolic accessories.
Yep, spot on. It's exactly, yep. It's just funny because they're like, because she hadn't went through an off season with me yet. She's like, this is a lot. And I'm like, yeah, but you're fine. It'll make you better for it later on.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm doing these poor powerlifting kids. It's their last block before we peak, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to fucking drown you in stimulus then.
Have fun.
Like the poor president, every time he's like, I didn't think it could get any harder.
It can always get harder.
Every single time we start a new block, it's harder.
Can always get harder.
What the fuck is this? I'm like, yeah, well.
You can always get more dense. There's a lot of ways you can change it.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I just go until I get a negative response and like, well, you got sick after squats, so I probably have to dial it back.
Yeah, maybe just a hair.
Now it makes sense why I do it in 2 workouts instead of 1.
Well, there's a kid that came to me.
That's why I'm doing it. That was probably the other reason I'm doing it all in 1 today is I want to see like how hard is this really?
Yeah.
But like my accessories are way fucking harder. They're all length and position with pauses.
Yeah. You're in that building
6
phase
rounds.
though, right?
I'm fucking trying
to bulk.
I will say I've never been this lean at this weight, so that's cool.
That is sweet. Yeah. I had a kid come back from 2 weeks of vacation and I was like, hey, like, I think you should do this. Like your first day back. Like I tried to give him something separate and he was like, nope, I'm going to keep up with him. I'm going to crush it. Okay. Have fun. His mom texted me the next day. He's sick today. I'm like, yep. Kind of figured he might be. I was like,
I mean, you can't, traveling is way more stressful than people realize.
Yeah. I was like, you don't realize he's been gone for 2 weeks and then you literally got back last night and then you come in here and try to crush a training session when we're at the point of like the most volume we're doing. Like it's not gonna go well.
All the radiation and the circadian rhythms aren't reset and like getting people to understand that. They're like, well, no, I'll be fine. I'm just traveling. I'm like,
okay.
What are you talking about? Just traveling. Shit's exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like a kid came, the kid came back from Holland. He'd been in Holland for 2 weeks. And he's like, I'm going to skip out on Monday if that's all right. I feel really jet lagged. I'm like, yeah, go for it. Like, that's not a big deal. That's fine. Came back on yesterday, felt fine, reset. Everything was good. Hit a jump PR. So it's like, yeah. Got to listen to your body. But most kids don't know how to do that. They're just like, balls to the wall.
As Dave Tate says, auto-regulation.
It's kind of a big part of it. Yeah.
Dude, that APRE shit is so fucking ridiculous. ARPE, whatever the fuck it is. I always forget what order it goes.
ARP training?
APRE.
I think it's APRE.
Auto-regulated
yeah.
progressive no, it's auto-regulated progressive resistance exercise.
Yes. Yeah.
But
it's a pretty easy way to do it.
Protocol. Oof. I'm making these kids do 5 instead of 6.
You ever done the 12 one for hypertrophy?
Fuck no.
Dude,
stupid.
I did that with a kid once.
So dumb. I hate that they classify it like that. Like, it's so old thinking that it's like, you do 12 reps, it's hypertrophy. And I'm like, not if you don't have a tempo, it's not.
Yeah. So that's what I did, though. I was like, you're going to do these 12 reps with a slower eccentric and a pause.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And he was doing really good with his diet. Like, he was hitting his goals and like keeping up with it. And he really wanted to grow. And I was like, that was about the time that I'd found that in that book. And I was like, oh, I bet if I just crush him in the lengthened position on some of this stuff, he'll just grow like a mug. Oh yeah. He was doing RDLs at one point with straps on, and his, like, you could see like his legs were just like shaking. He's
Baby
like,
dough.
oh, it was so funny. I felt bad, but I was like, hey, it'll work.
I mean, everything works with kids.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll grow regardless. It doesn't matter really.
The crazy thing to me is you can negate 90% of shitty programming with just FRC.
I don't disagree with that.
It works. I have proof.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, most people don't focus on that. What's happening at the joint?
Like, back to the accommodation thing. It's an internal law. It's not an external law.
Right. So if you're constantly changing internal structure, then how do you accommodate?
Right.
Yeah. I'm with you. I completely agree.
I'm not saying it for you.
People are like, how do you keep
people that listen to this podcast?
People like, how do your people keep getting better? And I'm like, well, we do a lot of FRC. They're like, why does that work? Like, because their structures are getting better.
Everything that you don't normally cover.
Yeah.
You're getting connective tissue. You're driving the nervous system. You're getting joint stuff taken care of. Like, it literally covers everything that regular strength training does not cover.
Yep. Yep. It casts a pretty wide net. That's for sure.
Ironically, what they talk about is the neural net. The bigger you can make the neural net, the more intensity that drives through.
That makes complete sense in my mind.
Yeah, the more motor units you can turn on, the stronger you're going to be.
Yep. I've noticed, like, hills and rails get way worse the better you get at them. I think we've talked about it.
You've discovered that, huh?
No, like, yeah, a long time ago. Like, when I first did them, I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But now I'm just like I said, like, I'm like, oh, these damn recovery days, dude. Like, it's so intensive for freaking the entire time. Like, ugh, it's miserable.
It's lacking on the cardio part, and I think I'm noticing it.
It's lacking on the cardio part?
Yeah, I'm just being a lazy fuck. Like, as long as I burn the calories my watch tells me I need to, I'm like, I'm good.
Don't rely on the hardware.
I mean, I don't think it's bad, but it's not driving my fucking progression as much.
Right.
Especially on that log.
Yep.
That thing is a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for people that do the log for sure and do it well. I'm like, that's so impressive.
Cleaning that fucking thing from the floor every time. Oh boy.
Yep. We're just trying to make them generally stronger so that they can go do better at their specific things. So I guess it doesn't really matter what tools you're using.
I didn't think the overhead press part would be the easy part, but it is.
Getting it off the ground. Yeah.
It's way more strain and stress than, like, last time I was doing it, my lower back was so pumped. I'm like, Jesus fuck. Like,
it's just such an awkward position.
All of it. It's the triple extension. Fucking brutal.
Mm-hmm. Please, sir.
One of my reps, someone's asked me, like, how'd that 150-pound curl feel in your arms?
Terrible.
It was fine because the rest of my body was smoked.
Hello, Almighty Banda. How long have you been working out? Are you talking to both of us?
You can go first, Nathan.
Working out or training? That's two different questions.
Yeah, just go with working out.
Lifting weights. I've been lifting weights, doing things in a gym for like, I don't know, 12 years or so. I don't know. What about you?
Uh, I haven't taken more than a week off in 14 years.
What a dog.
I don't think I've missed an entire day in almost 2 years.
Well, I think we scared him off. They just ran from the
You
chat
did. You're
immediately.
getting all fucking semantic with him.
What? I answered the
Semantics,
question.
bro. Just after you fucking chastise him for asking a stupid
Gotta be
question.
specific. You gotta be specific.
Well, I would say he was. He used the word working out. So
I don't know if this was a he or Almighty Benda. Anyway,
either way,
thank you.
that person, they, them.
They, them. Thank you for the question.
Nathan scared him off within 5 seconds.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, well, you're the one telling me to work on communication skills. Like,
Oh.
I don't know, man. Maybe you should be looking at the man in the mirror.
No, don't be doing that. Did you watch the golf video with Trump and Bryson DeChambeau?
No, why would I watch that?
It was awesome.
What was awesome about it? It's golf.
It's just Trump, man. It's just Trump in his normal environment. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't. Whatever.
I mean, Trump just talks about whatever he wants to talk about. I loved it. It was great.
That's how it's supposed to be.
He's a pretty good little golfer too.
I would hope so with as much practice that motherfucker's had.
Whoa, what?
Speaking of which, I need to go buy a driver and a 3-wood and start hitting some balls. I got a tournament to play in like 3 weeks.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but now I have this big logo up on my. What the heck?
It's gonna be a shit show of a tournament, but it's a tournament.
Yeah.
Charity tournament. My end of it's gonna be real bad.
Where?
At this little local course we have. My buddy passed away at the beginning of the year, and his parents are having a charity tournament.
Yeah. That would be fun.
Yeah. That'll be something. But I need a driver and a 3-wood because I broke mine.
Oh God, I'll ship you some. You can buy mine.
They're probably too long.
Too long? No, my clubs aren't like. They're just standard size.
The ones I bought were too long. Like the 3-wood was perfect, but the driver was too long.
Interesting. Yeah.
I wonder why I couldn't make good contact with the driver, and I was like, "Oh, this thing's too fucking long."
I'm trying to sell mine to make an upgrade, but nobody's buying it. So.
How much you want for them?
$200 for the driver, $100 for the 3-wood.
Definitely not.
Come on. They'll make you hit the ball further, guaranteed.
$80 set of clubs. You think I'm gonna spend fucking 3 times that on just 2? No, I'm good, bro.
Someone asked me the other day, like, what club would you buy first if you were buying a club? I'm like, driver, 100%. Like,
because you crush it. Most people can't even hit the ball.
Yeah, but like, if you figure out how to crush it, it's fun. That's the most fun club in the bag by far. It's not even remotely close.
Just need to go buy one that's the right length so I can make contact.
Also,
every time I golf with my friends, they're like, don't try to hit it as hard. I'm not trying to hit it hard. I'm literally just trying to make contact.
Dude, it cracks me up. Yeah, I get that all the time. They'll be like, slow it down to like 90%. And I'm like, okay. And I'm still swinging it stupidly fast. And they're like, that was 90? I'm like, yeah, dog.
Give or take, yeah.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm faster than you. I hate to break it to you.
And you do have good rotational power. Now, if only we could transfer that into static strength.
Yeah, well, I built specific before I built general strength in my career growing up, so.
Imagine if that static strength went up, that rotational power would go through the roof.
Oh, dude, trust me, I know. There was a whole.
Have you watched that Sprint thing on Netflix yet?
Sprint thing?
Yeah, you know how they have like receiver, quarterback. They have one on sprinters.
Oh no, I haven't watched any of those. I guess. What does it talk about?
I've watched the first part of it follows the sprinters through their season last year.
That's cool. So you get an insight into their training.
Yeah, I fell asleep, so I only got to see them introducing the sprinters.
Must not have been very good. No.
I always fall asleep.
Yeah, it always cracks me up. Like, I love a golf course because it's just people that are clueless to what distance and length should be at the amateur level, I guess. So like if there's like there's a hole at Cassville, the third hole. It's like a 350-yard par four, and I drove it probably
The green
five,
every time.
pretty close. Like I'm either just right of the green, or or well, if I hit a tree, obviously I'm not. But like if I hit a good drive, I'm within 5 yards or on the green almost every time in that hole, and that's the farthest back you can play on those tips. They're like at the tips, and they're like, I don't understand how you do that. Well, come to my gym and find out. Like, they're like, can you make me a better golfer? I'm like, I'll make you a better golfer just by making you stronger. Like, that's, you guys just don't understand. Like, they're like, well, I still need to maintain my flexibility and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it's just not the most important component. Like, I don't know what to tell you. There's a reason that golf has gotten longer.
Dude, that TPC course here,
Yeah.
first hole. Do you know how long it is?
Probably six something.
Yeah, 6:30.
Yeah, that's a pro par five.
I was like, what the fuck? Like they were playing it at the simulator place that we have in
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
And my friends couldn't like even get close to fucking even on the green within 5 shots.
Yeah. I try to turn that into a 2-shot hole, but I don't think I could do it. It'd be
I
tough.
don't think you could either. How would you drive another fucking 300 yards with a
Well,
without a tee?
I hit if I hit a tee shot really good, my driver is anywhere from 320 to 350. And then if I hit a 3-wood really, like I got to get every bit of it, but it's anywhere from 290 to 310.
You can drive the 3-wood off the fairway?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Break that motherfucker in half.
Oh, I mean, that club is definitely love and hate for me. Like it's either really good or it's really bad. There's no in between. There's no
The irons
in between.
I get, like I'm allowed to hit the ground, so I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But it always cracks me up because at Cassville they're like, those trees are supposed to be protecting those people, and I'm like, well, I'm about to hit it over those trees, so I don't really know what to tell them.
Oh, is that like what blocks the end of the?
Yeah, so they'll have
On the side.
like Cassville's kind of close where some of the tee boxes are. So like the third hole, for example, like it's just straight down the thing, but then off to the left is the tee box to the next hole. Well, the tee box is only like 300 yards out. So if you hit it over the trees, like if you hook one over the trees, it's going on that tee box. Like I've almost hit people before.
So you gotta wait for them to drive and then you can go.
Yeah. People, it's always funny. Like people are like, what are you waiting on? I'm like, they're on the green. They're like, yeah, hit your ball. And I'm like, no.
They're gonna get really mad if I do that.
It's always funny when you play with someone new and I go to that hole and they're like, what are you waiting on? I'm like, they're on the green. They're like, you haven't ever drove the green before. I'm like, yeah, I have. I've drove it past it actually.
Especially if I get a wind.
They're like, I can't wait to see this. And then I actually click one and hit it well. And they're like, what?
You ever see that poor guy that Tiger Woods did the drive off with?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, Tiger Woods just smashes that fucking thing.
Oh, I have no doubt, dude. Rory is so fun to watch because he's only like 5'9" and he hits the ball. Like his average last year on tour was 327 or something like that. And he's not a big guy. So
Get him in the gym.
yeah, I watched the Full Swing documentary and watched some of his gym routines. I'm just like, yeah.
I remember like years ago they talked about Tiger Woods would bench 315 no problem. I'm like, that makes sense.
He's a big, strong dude. He's still big, strong. Like if you still look at him, he does not look like a golfer.
Broken now.
Well, I know, but
somebody who needs some FRC work.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But I think his body has kept going as long and as good as it has just because he did hit the, like, obviously because he was in the weight room. He still talks about that. He's like, I still prioritize going to the gym. Huh?
Pretty shit right now.
Well, his golf game sucks.
Yeah. But he needs to go back to banging hoes.
Apparently. That's when he plays his best.
I was listening, I fell asleep with fucking podcasts on. I woke up to Panora and fucking Luke Edwards talking to Dave Tate, and Panora, they're talking about all the crazy shit Panora did. And they're like, Dave Tate's like, he's like, you think you would have done better if you like, did everything right? He's like, no, not a chance. He's like, I had the crazy mindset because I was doing crazy shit.
Right.
There's no way.
Right. I just lived it 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm just in it, so I don't know any different. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it goes back to that intensity before optimal type of thing.
That's Panora.
Yeah. People are like, oh, I just want to make sure my training's optimal. I'm like, well, first you have to learn how to try. So,
It's like he's more optimal now because he's in his 40s, not because he wants to be.
yeah.
And probably because he died.
God, dude.
Minor details.
Some of those guys are just
They're talking
unreal.
about Luke. I was like, this fucking guy'd show up to a meet and he'd forget his belt and borrow someone's belt and just go fucking crush a huge squat.
That is
Or like one
unreal.
time he came to a meet without a bag. He had a laundry basket full of his shit. Like, what the fuck?
That's unreal. Guess to just say,
Because
it is what it is. You got to be at your best all the time. He just took it literally.
I mean, I don't know really. I think he was in the top 90% of his best. I think he probably could have stood to do a little bit. I get the mindset thing. Like if you don't have the mindset, it doesn't matter. Like have you seen the presentation the guy gives about the top 25 tennis players, the difference between them and the top
5%.
Like, yeah, it's mindset. Yeah. It's all about positivity. Like positive thinking creates positive outcomes, so on and so forth.
Yep. Yeah, I know a lot of golfers talk about that. Like, sports psychology has came into a big role in golf lately because, like, and
should be a big role in every sport.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Like Wyndham Clark, this guy that was like, he was a really good college golfer, but he had a lot of anger issues and got mad at himself and frustrated all the time. And then he hired a sports psychologist. And what do you know? Lo and behold, the next year he won a major and he won 2 more events. And he went from like 100th in the world to top 20 in the world, all because he got his mindset right. And it's like, well, yeah, duh.
I see it in every aspect of my life.
Oh, 1,000%. Like when I make sure that my head is screwed on every day before I wake up or when I wake up, then the day goes way better. And it's just like,
okay. That even goes to like the people you hang out with. Like you can't be around the fucking energy vampires.
Yeah. Yeah, like people, I think I responded on a story the other day. They're like, how do you do that? Like, how do you get up and go at 3 or 3:30 or whatever you're doing? And I'm like, because I win the fight with my mind every day I wake up and that alarm goes off. Like, I tell myself,
I've been losing.
Yeah, but your perspective has had to change, I think, a little bit. But like,
I'm goddamn busy. I don't have a choice.
Yeah. Like, and that's when I have the most free time. That's why I tell people, I'm like, I'm not busy at those times. So I have to be at my best so I can be best for people. And I have to be mentally sharp and physically sharp to make that happen. So if that alarm goes off at 3:30, I have to win the first fight of the day right there. Have to. If I don't, then
I'm lucky if I could get home by 10 p.m.
Yeah. Mine's pretty set to 8 o'clock, 8:30 right now.
That would be a good win for me. Oh, dude, I start my last session at like 7:30.
Wow, that's tough. That's tough.
It's been a schedule change for sure.
Yeah, we start our group training at 6 and we're done by around 7:38. So
oh man, I wish I started my last session at 6.
Yeah. But the middle of my day is what's so broken right now. Like I have, which it's not about.
My earliest one's only at 7 now though, instead of 6 or 5. So
it's about to be 4 a.m. to 8:30 every night. So
yeah, dude, 8:30 we're like halfway through the workout.
Oh, damn. But you're getting up later now though, so it all works out.
I mean, I figure out a way to make it work, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like you just gotta.
But I'm not necessarily getting up later all the time. Like some days are just 3 hours of sleep.
I love that Hormozzi story that I retweeted today that I saw on somebody's or reposted or whatever. How like young men should be normalize the 12-hour working a day, 6 days a week. Yeah. I was like, man, that sums it up right there. That's what you got to do. Sometimes you just got to do it. So
basically what I do.
Build equity. Yeah, you're building equity.
Monday and ends on Friday.
Yeah. People are like, when do you have time off? I'm like, huh?
What is this time off?
It's like when my wife's like, hey, we're going to go on vacation. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to. She's like, I know you don't.
When I have time off, I have enough things that I should be doing that I probably should do, but I have to take a mental break.
Right. Like today, I was like, someone was like, hey, you want to go golf? And I'm like, yes, I want to go golf, but the amount of things I have to get done is not conducive of me going golf today. So I'm not going golf. So it's got to pick and choose, man.
No golf.
Oh, so sad. I really wanted to play today. It's a nice day. It's only like 80 here.
It's motherfucking 90 something here, dude. It's terrible.
Yeah, I think next week we're going to be pretty hot, but this week's been pretty good. Last week was amazing. Oh, I'm sorry. It got a little warmer. It's up to 85, but
85 sounds great.
Yeah, I have no problem with
It's
85.
like 88 in the fucking gym all the time.
Yeah, my kids bitch about 80. So, like, why are you complaining? It's 80 degrees in here. Stop. You're gonna be just fine.
93 here right now.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. It's pretty hot.
Pretty warm for sure. This stone workout's gonna be brutal with all this heat.
Yeah, there'll be some slippage.
5:30 stone workout.
Be some slippage.
I don't think so.
Chalk yourself up.
I use the tacky rags a little bit, but they're so fucking worn out that
Tacky rags, yeah.
only 175 today. I don't think I'll need much.
Easy peasy.
Let's hope.
We're praying, so we're praying.
Fun.
Oh yeah. No thanks. Got to do it. Got to make yourself better.
Something like that.
I don't even know if I'll have any kids tonight because it's recovery day. We'll see. Most of them skip that day.
More computer work. Do they?
Yeah, and I literally tell them it's the most important day. Like, okay. Like, come do your recovery.
Numbers don't go up like they're supposed to.
What?
When numbers don't go up like they're supposed to.
So I told him, I'm like, huh? If you're not going to do everything right, then you're not going to get the stuff that you want to go up. So it all has to be treated with the same intensity and focus. But if you don't want to do it, I understand. It's up to you. I'll go hit the golf course instead. I actually need to mow my yard. A minute. Legitimately a minute.
That's terrible.
It's not good. Yeah, it's very tempting. Because I have clubs on hand at all points. So I'm just like, man, I could go golf real quick.
In the car at all times.
Oh, they're just
I need to really go to the driving range. I'm going to go buy 2 new clubs tomorrow.
Mine's in the gym. My driving range in the gym. I can just go whack balls in the gym and then go play around.
Do you think that's as effective?
The simulator?
I mean, I know technique-wise it is, but like, I feel like the simulator doesn't give you as good of a readout. At least the one that we have at this place here.
Mine does.
Seems real funky.
Mine seems to be very accurate to what I do on the course. So I'm like, yep,
that's what your course on there. Probably not, huh?
No, they don't. It's not. You can have courses built, but it costs like thousands of dollars. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Do you have the TPC course out here?
That's a good question. I could look.
If you do, I want you to play it and tell me what you can get.
Oh, it's not gonna be good. None of those.
Then if you ever come out again, I'll pay for you to go do it, and I'll just watch and be your caddy.
Okay, deal.
Although it's like something astronomical for a round of golf there.
Yeah, it's probably like $400.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Most of those TPC courses are
worth it.
Hang on a second.
TPC Colorado. What does TPC stand for?
Great question. Don't know.
Oh, nice. All right.
They have... No, they don't have that one. They have DPC Boston, Hearthlands, Louisiana, Pebble, Sodgrass, Scottsdale, Royal Troon.
You know what it is, I think? Oh, maybe not.
I don't know if there's any of these on mine.
Colorado's only PGA Tour managed golf course.
Where is Colorado? There it is. Oh, there's a lot of Colorado courses on this thing, though. Holy cow.
Is there?
Yeah.
Which ones?
Which one? You're the ones in. Good grief, this thing is so touchy.
This would be in Berthoud for the TPC one. Do you have Cherry Hills?
Let me type in Colorado. CO.
And I wonder where you can drive here.
They have 400. Breckenridge, Elk Beaver, Elk Bear. I don't know. Broadmoor.
That's in Colorado Springs, I think.
Yep. Broadmoor West, Broadmoor East, Castle Pines.
Oh yeah, that's a popular one.
Cheyenne Shadows. The Club at Pradera. The Club at Flying Horse. Redlands Mesa Golf Course. The The club at Ravina. Is there literally none in like,
No Cherry Hills, huh?
Cherry? Nope, no Cherry Hills on this one.
That's like the Denver course.
The desert one?
Denver.
Oh, Denver. I guess I just
Great Creek.
let me type in
Great Creek is
Denver.
like right next to the ghetto in Denver.
The only one they have on Denver, Colorado is Todd Creek Golf Club.
Need a better simulator.
It's a program. It's not the simulator. It's the program I bought.
You need a better one.
Yeah, I probably do.
Do they make a long drive one? That's what you need to buy.
Yeah, they have a driving range, yeah.
No, but like for the long, is the long drive just like a bunch of top golf places, or do they go to courses?
It's just a really, really long driving range is all it is.
Can you hit the net at Top Golf?
Can I?
Yeah, at the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it, like 300?
No, it's only like 250.
Oh, really?
But those balls don't fly as far as like regular balls. You know that, right?
No, they're shittier.
Yeah, way worse. And the clubs are way worse. So it's like, that's why. Like if I take my clubs, so they had to cut those tees off because people kept hitting it over.
Oh, they don't have the tees anymore?
Well, they do, but they're just not as high because people, the higher the tee, the more loft you can get out of it, obviously.
Right, you get under it.
Yeah. So like people kept hitting it over the net. So they cut all those tees down so you can't hit them as high because they'd bring their own clubs and just smash balls over, or they'd get their own ball out and put it on the tee when they weren't looking and just hit one over the net. Oh, yeah. It was bad.
And are all the Top Golfs like the same distance?
Yeah. I think they're like 250 to the back net. Top Golf dimensions.
I'm talking about an overpriced activity.
Oh, 1000%.
A bay here for like 2 hours is like $150.
Yeah, Top Golf dimensions are 250 yards to the back of the net, which is 150 feet tall. And my driver probably goes 150 feet tall. But yeah, I could hit it over the net. 1000%. 1000%. I've just never really tried.
And I should make you play the tiny course that I play. You'd be fucking just.
How many yards is it?
I have no idea. Like, it's so small. It's in the middle of town. Like, it's not.
What's it called?
Like, I think the oldest course we have, Sunset Golf Course.
Let me look. Sunset Golf Course. Colorado.
Longmont.
Website.
Total hole length is from the blues is 5966.
Oh God, yeah, that's tiny. Yeah, okay, so let's just look at this. All right. First hole, not quite drivable, but would get very close. Second hole, drivable. Third hole would get close. Fourth hole, no. Fifth hole's a par 3. Sixth hole would get close. Seventh hole is a par 5 that is very short, so I would probably in 2. Eighth hole is
The 8th hole, I've made it on the green.
yeah. Oh, I forget the ball flies further in Colorado too. So.
Oh yeah, then the 9th hole you could get a hole in one that bitch. I bet.
Oh God, no! I can't. I'm not good with my irons. I think all these
The
potentially could be drivable with the thin air out there. To be honest,
That's what I was thinking. Like you crush an extra 50 yards. I bet.
think it'd be that much? I don't know if it'd be that much.
It's say pretty thin, bro.
I'd say 20. What is these people sending me?
Yeah, this is where I got to do my tournament at.
That'll be fun. All right, I'm flying out. Put me on your team.
I already have a team, but that would have been funny. Just bring in a ringer.
Who's this guy?
Who the fuck is this? And then like I go to the Twin Peaks golf course for the driving range. I've never played the course though.
I almost played there when I was out there. What has your best par been? My best par, I shot a 74, 2 over par one time. That's the best score I've ever had. I played 9 holes the other day at Cassville. I was 1 over par through 9, but that's all I had time for. So that could have been a good one.
This is how cheap this golf course is, dude. It's $19 for 9 holes.
To walk?
So 15 with a cart.
Oh yeah.
So
that's pretty
$34 to.
Yeah. I walk my course now. I got rid of my cart membership.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that.
Incentivizes me to get my steps.
I guess, yeah. I suppose.
Well, I was like, what's an easy way for me to do both? And I was like, well,
This other course that we have is 6830 for the total length.
that'd be a little harder for sure. Cassville from the Blues is like 66,
And it's actually 18.
or the Blacks. So, like a hard, I would say anything over 7,000 is really tough. So
That's the breaker.
yeah, it's
If
kind
one by
of.
my house is over 7,000.
But it doesn't. I mean, courses don't necessarily have to be long to be difficult, though, either. So
The one by my house, par is looks like a 74 is par.
73 is par.
It's a 73.6, but
Oh, that's the rating. That's the slope rating.
oh, that's the slope rating
So what that
for
means
scratch.
is
Oh, no, because the slope says 135.
yeah, there are two different ratings. One's a par rating, and the other one is just like a slope rating of like how the degree to the difficulty of like elevation. So the first one means like if it's a 73.6, that means that it plays 1.6 shots harder than par. So like if a scratch golfer, someone that normally routinely has like an even handicap, goes there and plays it, they're expected to shoot 1.6 shots over par.
Average par for 18 is 72. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, some are 71, some are 73, but usually it's 72.
Didn't know that.
What do you What do you think you would shoot over par?
Oh, dude, I'm fucking. I'm probably 180.
I don't think you'd shoot a 180. Some of the worst golfers I've played with.
That course I showed you where I got on the green in the first one, that's the only one I've ever parred.
I think I've seen really bad players usually shoot in the 120s, or first timers.
Oh, trust me, I can make that look good.
No way. You're too athletic.
So bad.
No, you're too athletic. I don't think so.
I'm just telling you. Just give me a 10 on every hole and we'll call it even.
That's what my buddy and I are playing Friday, and his handicap is like 30. So he gets 30 strokes. Right? That's what that means. So a handicap means like
makes sense.
If he shoots a 102, that's even par for him. Whereas like my handicap's a 5. So if I shoot a 77,
yeah, give me 100 handicap and all.
So he was like, we're going to play with handicaps and loser buys lunch. I'm like, all right, deal. So
if you want to get in a squat rack,
for every rep you do with every rep, no, that wouldn't make sense. For every hundreds of pounds you're over me on a certain lift, you get that much on your handicap.
For every pound, or is it like every 5 pounds?
Every 5. How about that? You get 1 stroke. It'd be a lot. I'd still be screwed. I'd be screwed. Yeah.
Because we'll just say we'll go 500 on the squat. What do you squat? 4?
Yeah.
Right there. That's fucking an extra. Is that 20 strokes?
There's 20. So that's close to your handicap. There you go.
Give me a stroke for every pound.
I don't think you would shoot that bad. I really don't. All right, when you come down, when you come down,
bro, I'm not gonna lie.
When you come down in Missouri, if you come during a decent weather time, we'll go play and we'll find out.
I don't want to come during a shitty weather time. I can tell you that.
Me, you, and Bill, we'll go play golf.
One thing I don't want to do is travel somewhere that has worse weather than I'm dealing with. Like, that's fucking stupid.
It's probably going to be the exact same. I feel like our climates are close to being the same, except your winters are a little worse.
Yeah, we're in a fucking desert up here, bro. It's fucking nothing's going.
Best time to come would be end of September, early October, or like.
Yeah, I'll bet you $100 Bill
April.
beats me.
Bill's not bad, but he's pretty new to it as well. That would be a good competition. You versus Bill.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make a side wager with you that he wins.
If we're playing handicap, probably. Yeah.
I'll let you know what I'll keep track for reals at this course, and I'll tell you what I get on 9 holes. And I guarantee you, it's probably gonna be like 66.
God, that would be impressive. That would be impressive.
Literally, one time I hit the fucking marker further than I hit the ball. Like, I drove the ball hard enough, it knocked the fucking marker out of the grass, and it drove further than the ball did. They're like, "How did you do that?" I'm like, "I don't even know. I have no fucking idea."
I
Like,
mean,
when I broke my 3 wood, the head of the 3 wood went further than the ball did.
jeez, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's anomaly, bro.
I mean, I've thrown clubs further than I've hit balls before.
I can see that. I break shit when I hit the ball.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Breaking the heads off is terrifying because I'm like, "Oh, shit. I don't know what's gonna happen now."
That's for sure. That's for sure. I broke a few
Yeah.
clubs. I broke my driver, so I had to buy a new shaft for it. It just literally snapped in half. It was weird.
Yeah, well, my cheap Dunlops don't hold up well, so, you know.
Yeah, see, we just got to get you some new clubs. Get you some better clubs.
Fuck that.
Come
Why would I
on
invest in
now.
something I'm so poor at? If
Come on now, because it
I
get
can
it.
get good with shitty clubs, then maybe.
Good luck. Clubs help.
I'm sure they do, but I can't imagine they help me.
Oh yeah, they would for sure.
I think the right length would help me because then I can make better contact. But outside of that, I don't see like
I think my buddy said that he's like, if I can get to like a 15 handicap, I'll invest in some good clubs. I'm like, all right, go ahead.
if I could bogey every hole.
There you go. I don't. I mean, if you could bogey every hole, yeah, that would. That's where I tell people to get to. Like, get to bogey golf and then go from there. Go from
I just
there.
need to go rip 150 balls a day until that tournament so I can at least hit the ball.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. You don't want to be able. You don't want to be the guy that can't get off the tee box.
Oh, I will be. It's okay. And everyone else is gonna be fucked up. So
Doesn't matter, right?
well, I'm just gonna look worse than the drunk people. So that'll be fun.
No. Yeah, go hit some balls. You can change that quickly.
I don't know, man.
Just you can just do a Zoom meeting with me and I'll give you a lesson.
I just need to be able to make contact consistently first.
Yeah, I get that. That's hard to do though.
I'm not retarded. I'm not sitting here trying to fucking crank it. I'm just literally trying to hit the ball.
I love people that are always like, golf should be so easy. I don't understand because you should be able to just hit the ball. It's just sitting there. I'm like, yeah, keep telling yourself that.
Hitting the ball with this tiny thing is like no surface area.
Yeah, it's tough. All right, I gotta get off here and go train people.
All right.
Have fun with your stones.
It's been fun.
Have fun with your stones.
I got like 3 hours before I get to do that. I gotta do my session first.
Oh, have fun with your session, torturing someone.
Yeah, that'll be good. He's got to max out on bench today, so
There you go. Have fun.
yeah.
Work hard. Do great things.
The stones in this heat though are gonna maybe it'll get me to wake up early.
There you go. No, I won't. You will not. Don't lie.
Depends on what time I get home.
Nah, you
If I can
like
get
that.
home by 8 and be asleep by fucking 10, then yeah, I can wake up early.
You like that sleep too much. Don't lie.
Well, yeah, if I get home by a fucking 12 and I have to, yeah, you're right. Last night I got home at 12.
Good night. Yeah, there's no way. I wouldn't be able to turn around and do it either.
No.
It's gonna be
There's
fun.
been times I've been sitting there scrolling and I see you post a story and I'm like, oh shit, I need to go to sleep.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't really post that late.
No, that early in the morning that I'm still up.
At 3 a.m.? Oh god.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
happened.
Yeah, we gotta dial that in, buddy.
Thanks, I know. I'm aware.
Oh god, that's bad. That's so bad.
I know.
Yeah. All right.
I'm like, oh, it's Nathan's up at 4 or 3:30. That means it's fucking 2 here. Okay, well.
Oh god, dang, yeah. Jesus.
Mhm.
Yeah. No thanks. No thanks.
All right, well, till next time.
All right. See you later, dude.
See you, man.